Hi Taurus, this is Heather, the medium on a mission, and I'm bringing you another 2020 forecast for the year. I realized that the first video that I did for you, I posted it because I felt like I wanted to honor the messages that were coming through because it was such a positive message, but because there was some audio, I promised to do another one for you guys, and I know you guys have shown up a lot on my channel, and I have a lot of love for Taurus, so I just wanted to honor that and give you guys another video. And so the way that I'm going to do the formatting for this video is going to be similar to the way I do my monthly readings, but this is going to be for the year. And so it'll cover off on the, it's going to be the body, mind, and spirit. And so I'll kind of go in that sequential fashion. And the way that I've got this laid out here, the body being kind of the lowest form, density, and then the mind, and then up here we'll have the spirit. So that's kind of the way that I'm going to be doing these videos. And so with that, we'll just sort of jump in. Now, when I was tuning into your, because I am a medium and I do get channeled information, I want to honor that. And so all the information that I've received when I was in meditation, it was interesting. A couple things. Number one, I was being shown a car transforming, like the Transformers, and there's something about, it feels like there's something, the coming together of sort of the mind and body to transform things in your life this year, and it feels like so let me say it this way. So a lot of times when I do channeling and spirit gives me messages regarding, there's a close correlation between the body and your car. So for example, if your car's been breaking down a lot and you've maybe not been taking care of that, it's usually consistent with what you would be getting from your own body, or you might be neglecting your own body. So it's a physical manifestation of what's occurring. And so I feel like for you this year, though, there's the feeling of you sort of, it feels like some of you are going to be working on your physical body. And it's not for the sense of getting like skinny. I don't feel like that. It's getting healthy. I feel like health is going to be really important to you this year in terms of the transition. But it's not just the physical health, it's the mental health. And so I feel all of these things coming together for you. And it feels really good. I feel like as I'm saying that, March is significant for you as well. And so I just feel a lot of that energy. Now, I didn't go back through and listen to your videos because I just want to honor the raw information of what I'm getting. So there may be some redundancy in terms of the information. I've asked Spirit to be, to provide a very different perspective, as well as the spirits that are going to come in to help with this message. So it feels really good in terms of the transformation that's occurring. In fact, yeah, I just feel like I want to honor that. And then in terms of the spirits that I had stepped forward to deliver your message, I actually have quite a few spirits coming forward, and I'm only going to, there's 3 in particular that I want to speak with, and I'm allowing their energies to sort of come in because like I said, there's just a lot of energy that I feel in terms of wanting to deliver this message for you guys. But first, I do have an older gentleman that's coming forward, and I feel like it's definitely an older gentleman. I get a connection with an R name or something like that. And then there's a female that would have been passed before him that he's signaling to come in as well. So they're kind of coming in as a collective energy to support this message. And with her, I'm getting a C name. So I hear that it could be Cindy, Cynthia, Carol, Kathy, something. I'm getting a C name that's connected with that. And then I do have another female that's coming forward that I feel would be separate from their energies. And this feels like a mother figure. It just feels like someone who's, I feel like she's a strong individual. But it's funny because she's making reference to the knotted hair. And so there's something about, I don't know if it was a funny incident or something about the hair and it being knotted, but it's like not being able to brush the hair, or feeling like it's always been knotted in tangles. So she's bringing that up. I feel like she's just acknowledging her hair. And so there may have been a situation with cancer as well with this individual where they may have had to go through chemo. That could be it as well. Sometimes when they talk about, oh, my hair, there's because at one point they didn't have it, but I'm acknowledging that. And I do feel that she's just showing up. I feel like there might be a daughter that she's showing up for. So And then I do have a younger male that's here, younger in comparison to this female, but he's not a little boy. And so he's just stepping forward. I get a K name with him, and I feel, I don't know if it's Keith or Kenny or Kevin, but I feel like there's a K name that's associated to him. And so I just heard mom, and so I don't know if this would be your son or what this would be, but I'm hearing the acknowledgement of mother as well. So with that being said, we'll jump into the messages. And again, this is going to be the first spread will be focused on the body, and I'm going to pull all of the cards for body and mind, and then I'll jump into that, and then we'll end it with the spirit messages. So let's, because I'd like the spirits to stick around here with us and provide us what insights that they have in terms of this messaging, and then we'll wrap it up with that. Okay. Spirit messages do you have for Taurus from a body perspective? What's going on from a physical body perspective in their world? Oh, okay, interesting. Okay. And I'm just going to do 3 on each one. All right. Okay, very interesting. I'm already feeling a lot of energy in terms of some of the insights that I need to provide. And this one just fell, so I'm going to take this one. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Taurus, as I tune into the messaging, there's a couple things. The first thing when I saw this, I heard no sugars. Now, I know we're talking about the body, and I know, like, I don't want to, this isn't a, I don't want it to make like a health and wellness video. That's not what this is about. But I do feel like this feeling of, for you in life, this feeling of not wanting to be restricted. I mean, look at, you've got the no and then the cords, as I'm seeing that now. This feeling of being stuck and not wanting to have that I don't want to have this restriction. And it's interesting because when I was also in meditation, Spirit was telling me, for you guys, it's not about, for you, especially when it comes to the physical body and sort of going through this metamorphosis, this transformation that you're going through, this feeling of when you look at things from a restrictive perspective, you see more of the same. And so feeling restricted, it creates a situation where it just isn't conducive to the energies that you're looking to create. So for example, if you're focusing on, say, losing weight, or, you know, stopping a bad behavior, or even, you know, something that you've been doing, that bad habit, when you focus on stopping the bad habit, it's almost like you're being restricted. And for you don't like that. Like, I'm getting the feeling with you. Now again, this is general, so it's not going to apply to everyone, but whoever is watching this, and if there's this feeling of, you don't like being told no, and so when the feeling of being told no, it's almost like I must do what I'm being told not to do. And so this is coming through on this sort of subconscious level too. So when you look at restrictions, it's like it makes you want to do more of the same. And so I feel like I need to tell you that this feeling of, and it's interesting that it's the earth sign cards, but there's also the stability that's in the middle here. And it's feeling of kind of stabilizing the energies and not looking at it from that perspective. But as I'm saying that, I also feel like some of you, now I'm getting a lot of different information and insights, because this is going to be for more than one person. And so I'm going to honor it as it comes in, the energy and kind of what they're showing me here. I also am getting some of you, this is in regards to a relationship as well, and this feeling of restriction, or the feeling of not feeling like, you've been able to have it go the way that you would expect or want. And I feel like there's definitely some feeling of, and it's interesting because I don't feel like it's a situation where it's a bad relationship, but it's your perception of what it is to you is not what it is creating that. So this is all, to me, is all about this feeling of the way that we perceive things. And it's interesting. I mean, this is your sign, right? So you're the earth sign. This could be involving another earth sign as well, though, but this is really you. This is your energy that's coming forward. I definitely get the stability here, but it's really around, you. It's the earth sign, right? And so this could apply to a Capricorn or Virgo as well. But I really feel like this is your energy that's coming forward. So it's quite fascinating that your card popped out here amongst this. And I wasn't even really focusing on that at the moment. So I apologize that but because I'm really being drawn to these two cards right here, and I'm being shown sort of this information. So sometimes when I'm a little distracted off that. But now that I kind of step back and look at them in totality, I'm just like, this is quite amazing here in terms of that. And it's interesting too, if you go above, because you've got the abandoned card here in this field. Oh, and I'm getting a lot of chills as I'm saying that. Wow. And you can see the red card here, and it's this red card, or I'm sorry, the red rose that's sitting on that chair for the abandoned, and this as well. And so, and above that, we've got the mute card. And again, it feels like this is something, there's a couple things that's going on. Number one, it feels like this, when you feel like you're in the space of being like blocked or like restricted, you go on mute. I feel like this feeling of like, that's it. I'm shutting down. I'm not going there. I'm disconnecting completely from this. But I also feel like some of you, this is someone else in your life where you feel like you're not really being able to have these conversations again. This could be another earth sign. This could be you as well. But I feel like there's something else regarding, there's something connected to this individual for you. So again, a couple different things that are playing out here. But I definitely feel, I mean, it's going to be different for different people, but I do feel it's weird because I keep getting wanting to pulled into one understanding of what's going on, and then I'm getting pulled into another. So just, again, it's going to be different for all of you. Now with that, it's interesting that we've got the cords right below the balancing of the scales. And so I just feel like whatever this is, it feels like you're getting to this point where you're breaking free of this energy and you're moving into this sort of balanced energy, right? You're look at that. You're balancing the scales, you're stabilizing. This is quite amazing here. I'm just sort of taking it all in, but I feel like for some of you, and I also want to go back to, I feel like as I'm saying, I'm seeing this card's popping in to my energy right now. This female is coming forward again. I feel like there might be some of you that have some interesting dynamics with a mother, with another female energy where this may have come from. And it's interesting because it's almost like I see brushing your hair, and it's this feeling of like she's doing it too hard, and it's like the feeling of just sometimes I go back to the age of 4. There's something too around that age. I feel like there's something strong around that age. But it's just sort of this interesting dynamic of, it's almost like a trigger, right? It's like kind of like there's something about when you hear no, and it's not necessarily have to be the word no, but it's the feeling of when you hear certain things, or if somebody said, what did you just say? And it triggers you without even realizing it. And this is where I feel like some of you, this is going to be about cutting these energies that no longer serve you and balancing of these scales. So I feel like it's interesting because as I feel like we're moving, this is sort of the progressive direction, and we're moving towards this balancing of the scales. So I do want to pull another card along with this balancing. I keep being drawn to that one because I feel like that's where we really, this is just sort of laying it out in terms of some of the experiences that you'll have. But I just would ask that you be mindful this year of those things, and really about the way that you talk to yourself as well. How are you showing up in this world? What does that look like? You can really define what that looks like. You can come through with, kind of a, the RBF, right? The angry face, or you can come through and say, you know what, I'm not gonna look at things as the form of restriction, and no, and feeling abandoned. I'm gonna look at it from a more positive perspective and put a shift on that. So anytime anyone goes through anything in life, really, you can always, you can use it, as something in which to, that's interesting, as that Spirit's telling me here, you can use it as a chair in which to sit down and kind of cry in the corner, or you could use it as a chair in which to step up and get outside of the window. That's quite fascinating. That Spirit was just showing me that in my mind. I'm like, what are they talking about? And I look up and I see the chairs. Okay, I'll go ahead and pull a card to go along with the balancing of the scales. Oh, let me clarify the balancing of the scales. What's the energy that's most prominent for Taurus? Okay, fall. I'm going to pull one more. I just feel like there's something else coming in for that energy. Some of you, there might also be something to do with I'm getting a child, but a little girl. There might be something coming in for you, a child. There's something, and I'm getting around the fall as well. So, but it's also healing there's a lot of healing too with this with your cards here. Let me see. Healing the past. Okay. So soul tribe. Okay, yeah. So again, this is this feeling of there's something breaking free for you guys in terms of, look at this. There's a chair here, a chair for one, and then here you have the soul tribe and this feeling of connection. But I feel like it's interesting because I feel like there's this feeling of forgiving yourself as well for certain things in life. And it doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be anything where it's like you've done anything bad, but it's this feeling of being hard on yourself. And I feel like I just feel like some of you, there might be a situation where you may have, it's all about the perspective and the shift of that perspective. And I also want to acknowledge, because I'm hearing this as well, some of you, there's the Ho'opono prayer that would be really good for you to do during this time. And it doesn't have to be a prayer to, forgive someone else. It could be for yourself. But generally speaking, when you forgive yourself, you forgive others. That's why for this card, I know this is your sign, but I feel like there might be some other energy that's coming in. And this is like, it's plural is all I'll say. It's not just you, it's plural. And so I just feel like there's a good transition that's going to be occurring for you. So let's pull the spirit messages. What messages does spirit have for these spirits that have shown up? Please, what messages do you have for Taurus for 2020? Overall energies for Taurus. What messages would you like to share? I'm just hearing happy, the feeling of like I'm happy. And I feel like one of the, just this feeling of not always finding that happiness and not always being in that space. And I feel like it's come to that now. Okay. I'm going to pull, it's interesting, I've been pulling 3 and I want to pull 3 because I do feel like I have kind of the three energies here that are coming in. So I'm going to honor that. Okay. Okay, all right, perfect. So we've got my death was painless, please don't worry or hold on to guilt. And we've got I am here helping you. And it's interesting because I have this male that I'm really just drawn to, that male energy. He was the second, actually he was the third one that was coming in, but there's something significant with that as well. And it's almost like we've got a couple energies that are coming in for there. And then you are never alone. And so I just feel like whatever this transition, whatever this thing that's occurring, and I'm really drawn to this lighthouse here and the light coming in through here. It's this feeling of you've got this sort of tribe. And I'll tell you, when tuning into the energies of the spirit family that's coming forward, it's definitely a tribe. It feels like all of these spirits are sort of coming through to help you with this transition. But it feels like a transformation is all it is. It feels isn't all it is. It's I just feel like it's a transformation of your energies, and it's really positive. It just feels very positive for you. I know that can be abrupt when you see no right off the bat, but I feel like it's telling you, like, you look at there's a feeling of sometimes feeling these restrictions, and Spirit saying don't look at that. It feels like for your energy that you're very much about, don't fence me in, don't box me in, don't corner me, because then I feel like that's where things go wrong. And Spirit's saying, like, from a physical body perspective, you need to step away from that energy. You need to look at things from a different perspective. You need to rewire the energies of the brain and sort of look at things from a more positive and enlightening perspective versus restrictive. So it feels like it's again balancing the energy, balancing the scales, being more stable in terms of those energies. And I feel like Spirit's really stepping in to help you with that. I usually don't get that many spirits that coming in at one time. So there definitely is a collective energy. So I'm going to pull one more card, and this is a general, oops, and I'll drop those. This is just the general energies in terms of just anything kind of a high level spiritual, because everything I feel like from a physical mind, body, everything ties back to the soul. And so I'm just going to ask Spirit, what's kind of a soul message we can give you for 2020? What soul messages can we give you? I'm going to take that one that flew out because I just feel like I need to there. Okay, actually there's two. Oh, that's weird. I'm going to give you this. It's weird. It dropped on the ground and this piece of paper was next to it, right next to it. So I feel like I need to give that to you, the message there as well. Let's see. So... and I'm going to read the definition here, what's coming in. And so we've got, this is card 42, and that goes to number 6. And to me, that's really about to me, that's transformation when I tune into the number 6. So 5, it's like you've got the change occurring, and I feel like 6 is moving on to that next space. So I'm going to read that card just so you have the definition of what that is. Because it feels like, it's interesting, it feels like it's that next evolution of what's coming into your space. So, okay, so this says here, the oracle brings you the message that what you are dreaming or seeking to do, create, live, or manifest is actually very natural to you. That is why you want to do it. If you've experienced controlling manipulative forces as you were growing up, you would have found it hard to access your natural state at the time. Wow, especially the message I was getting from the female. That's quite interesting there. You would have been too busy trying to adapt to get through the trials of childhood. Wow. And look at this. Oh my gosh, you guys, balancing of the scales, and they're talking about the trials of the childhood and this experience. Wow, this is amazing. And okay, when you finish navigating childhood and start to let go of who you were taught to be in order to become who you really are, you may have found your life path was not easily accessible. This is simply because your true and natural self was covered by layers of shame from the early conditioning that you had to be other than who you are, that you had to be other than who you are in order to win love or be acceptable. So to me, that's just quite interesting. I'm really just blown away by all the information that's coming forward here. And this card and how it really correlates to the information that Spirit's been bringing through. There's a lot of information on this card, but basically, I feel like I just want to read you this final message here. You can be free to realize that the shame is just an emotion, not a truth, and you can defy any hold it has ever had on you and your ability to love yourself. The oracle brings you the guidance that you are now powerful enough to break the cycle, and it is time to stop the shame and claim yourself in love instead. And I'm just like, it's almost like it's hard for me to breathe right now because I'm just so kind of amazed with what this is. It says, drop your defenses, get into your grit and confront the power that any old shaming has had over you. I'm finished now. And so I just, I'm going to put the healing process that's included with this book so you guys have this, just because I feel like there's some good information if this does resonate with you, how you can kind of, affirm what your healing looks like. I feel like it's just really strong in terms of this information, and I'm sort of blown away because of the information that's coming from this card. And it's this feeling, if you look at here, it's the feeling of the cycles too around it. Look at this, I'm getting so much chills right now. You can see that transformation. Oh my gosh, you guys, and I just realized on my cards, the butterfly, to me, it's always been a symbol of transformation. And I thought it interesting that Spirit showed me a transformer versus a butterfly, because usually I get that, but there's something symbolic regarding the mind and body connection, and there's something the physical layer as well. So, you know, to me, transformation on a mental level is just the butterfly, but I see the car being significant for both. So I'm kind of blown away, you guys, right now about this, because look at this big butterfly right here, and it's almost like she's kind of releasing these things that no longer serve. You've got the cords, you've got the emotional cords that are connected to you as well, and this feeling of being blocked throughout. And look at, she's crying, and as she's crying, she's transforming, she's releasing these butterflies, and it's quite amazing. And it's almost like it's wow. The other thing I'm getting here too, you know, like the roots of a tree where every year holds a ring. I'm getting this with you guys, and it feels like it's been carried over the years and over the years, and I feel like this time it's time to break that cycle for you. And again, when I dropped this is kind of weird because I didn't even see this on the floor, and it was with it, and I thought it was another card. So I'm going to read it, and there's a reason now that I'm looking at the title of this and what this is all talking about. I'm just blown away. I mean, Spirit never ceases to amaze me in what they do. So it says freedom. Now I am free. My hands, head, heart are unburdened. There is no load to carry. Bathed in peace, I pass through the portal of lightness and love to the glorious realm of oneness with the divine. I mean, holy crap, it's just amazing. Now that's from it. This is actually from Let It Go artwork that, by Sonia Shannon. She does. I actually bought one of her pieces, but it's just funny that I'm just kind of shocked that that came with it. I don't understand, but that's okay. So it's all part of the process and what's meant to happen. So Taurus, I hope that this reading was helpful for you. And again, I apologize and thank you so much for your patience with the first video, but I did want to bring this out for you, this other information, because I do feel like there's significance to this message. And I wish you all the best 2020. I'll be back again bringing the February forecast, but until then, namaste.